Alright, we got a lot to get to today. We got some epic bobber downs. We're gonna talk steelhead. You know, are we gonna have a steelhead season this year on the Washington coast? Latest update, what we're hearing from WDFW on that, what the data's showing, and crabbing open around Seattle, Tacoma in the wintertime. Are you kidding me? All that and a lot more. Stick with the video.
Come on, Connor.
Isn't this spot crazy though? Like I was just sitting, all just sitting here. No, it's awesome.
Oh, that was him.
Jerker B one.
Oh, there he is, there he is. Yeah!
That is a chrome. That is a chrome. I think that's a steel hat.
Yeah, it's a steelhead.
It's a steel hat.
No, it's not.
Well, it's a steel hat. That's also that's street lingo for chum. Such a chrome fish, dude. Stop. There we go. Okay, wouldn't be doing this. Right.
Look at this. I learned how to zoom in on iMovie where I edit these videos. I can show you these bobber downs, which are just absolutely awesome. No one ever gets tired of seeing bobber downs when you're out there fishing for salmon. Took some, I've been posting these videos and I got, my friends hit me up. They're like, hey, we gotta go to this spot. We gotta catch some chum. So I took a couple more people out to the chum paradise spot, and just had a blast hooking chum nonstop. I mean, one after another. It's so much fun.
Felt like a bite. Yeah, you did that spinner. The hoochie spinner bite. That's an old coho. It's all red. No, it's a chum. Yeah. My chum jump out of the water though. It happens when you... Oh yeah, he's got that thing right in the corner of his... Look at those teeth. Holy cow, look at those teeth.
Some chompers.
Fangs. Look at this thing right in the chops. There we go. Nice, look at that. Wow. Oh yeah, he's taking it. Fish on. Oh, he gave it off. That's alright. That's what I like, the long line release. Fish. Oh, yeah. He swallowed it. That's just something you shout when you're hooking fish, right? Did you ever fish the Skokomish? Oh my goodness, dude. This thing is jacked. This jig is so jacked up. You hooked a log. I have no idea. It doesn't look like it's moving. I think you did hook something. That's not a fish.
It's not a fish.
Fish. This jig was bent like in half on the last fish I took. How I bent it back. It's like barely still a lure.
All right, let's talk about some of the news from WFW that just came out in this past week. We've got the Klickitat River just up their adult coho limit to 3 from 2 because the run size is better than expected. We got Ringgold Springs closed their steelhead season as the run there for steelhead's not as good as expected. I wrote a couple articles this past week on PNWBestLife.com really highlighting a couple of the Washington steelhead rivers and looking at kind of what we're expecting there in terms of the data. We'll get to that here in a few minutes. Winter crabbing opened this past week around Seattle, Tacoma. I can't remember the last time Marine Area 10 and 11 have been open for winter crabbing. I mean, there's so much to do in 11 right now. We'll talk about that in the rec opportunity. But in the South Sound, you can't complain. You've got reasons to get out there and be on the water, absolutely. Then WFW announced the Black Friday, skip the shopping, hit the water for big rainbow trout. They stocked a bunch of couple pound, 16 inches and above rainbow trouts all over Westside Lakes. You can read the list there, pause, capture it, and if you want to get some more trout fishing in before wintertime, this is time to do it. All right, so let's look at coho data here and what's going on with these rivers on the coast and around Washington. So things have slowed down quite a bit. The run really peaked last week, 10 days ago, when we had the high water event, and it's really slowed down. The numbers are a little bit less on Humtulip, Satsip, Cowlitz has come way down, Skagit's come way down. These rivers probably still have fish in them. They're probably still worth making a trip to go out there. I'll probably be going to hit one of these rivers next week, but just not as many fish as were there. The run already peaked, but probably still worth your time. Another thing we've got to talk about is Marine Area 11 blackmouth. If you look at the numbers, there's a steady amount of fish coming out of Marine Area 11. If you look at the Chinook per angler, it's pretty close to what it is during the summertime when things are good. Fish aren't going to be as large, but that's worth your time. At 11, you can squid right now, you can blackmouth fish, you can crab at 11. There's a lot to do in the South Sound. So, just one other quick update before we jump onto the steelhead topic is razor clam. So, I don't think we're clearing up the closures anytime soon. Domoic acid from Oak Rocks, just one of the beaches I grabbed here is high, and it's not coming down yet. So don't expect razor clamming anytime soon. Maybe give it another month. Let's see what happens. All right, so let's talk about the Bogey Shield. This is, now it's probably the main early hatchery winter steelhead river left, once they got rid of the Cowlitz early winter run. And so let's take a look at this real quick. It's, November 18th right now. Between now and Thanksgiving, if it hasn't happened already, winter steelhead are gonna be caught on this river. It's currently open for steelhead. That won't change probably until the new coastal steelhead seasons are going to be announced December 1st, that kind of affect North Coast, South Coast, Chehalis, all of this stuff. Stay tuned on that. Lots going to change potentially with our steelhead regs, but the bogey gets winter steelhead by mid-November, late November for sure. And so here's a couple of things to look at. So when you look at the historical run timing, this is up on PNWBestLife.com. But this run timing graph, you could see in recent history, right? We've got runs that really kind of peak in mid to late December, right? So this is when a lot of times people have off for Christmas. It's perfect. Highly recommend going with a guided option there. There's limited bake access except for some areas around the hatchery. If you don't like fishing around a lot of people, then guided trip could be the way to go and get access to, and have some space, get access to some other water as well. There are places to wait around and get to other spots, but really dependent on flows and how the river's flowing, whether those places are accessible or not. But let's take a look at the forecast for the bogey. What can we expect? If you look at the smolt plants, they're basically the same in the last 4 or 5 years. It's been similar amount of smolt plants. So it really comes down to the ocean conditions and other things affecting the return of steelhead there. And if you look at the trend for escapement history, we're climbing out of some low periods in 2019 to 2021. 2022 was one of the best escapements in the last 5-6 years. And some of that, I'm sure, was due to the modified regulations last year. And so what can we expect this year? What's WFW saying the hatchery steelhead forecast is right now? Well, you look at what they published in this most recent town hall, you got 5,888 hatchery winter steelhead set to return. That would be certainly, remove the sport catch there, and that would be one of the best runs we've had in quite a while. So incredible early winter steelhead opportunity, hopefully there. Look at analysis of options that they put out, and you can see the Quileute, which is what the bogey falls into. There's a pretty high sport impact limit and a lot of green boxes on the analysis of options. So if nothing else, we'll probably have a fishery on the bogey. But these little symbols down here means that there's a concern for if everything else is closed down, you have a shift of effort and the bogey gets pounded. Additionally, the really healthy run of wild fish in the Quileute is the sole duck. And so there's some variability there. No one's gonna promise it's gonna be open, but we'll learn on December 1st. But this is certainly, a great, if it's open, it could be a great opportunity to get into some winter hatchery steelhead. Let's just talk about the steelhead update in general. There is a plan, a 138-page plan going in front of the state legislature to get funding for better creel check and biologists and folks monitoring the sport catch data in future years, because that's one of the challenges with trying to figure out these limited seasons protecting the wild fish is there's not enough staff, not enough people. There has been, even with this analysis of options, it doesn't show anything for the Chehalis available. But I've seen the quotes and things people are saying, like, maybe one of the Chehalis tribs, if they focused all of their resources on it, could be open. I don't know what that does to places like the Hum Tulip, so we'll have to wait and see. December 1st is a really big date for finding out the fate of the steelhead season, so stay tuned. We'll be all over it. Enough data, let's talk about recreational opportunities that are going on right now. So you've got, again, South and Mid Puget Sound winter crabbing. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to get out there, drop some pots and do that, especially that there's things to do while you're waiting for your pots to soak and collect dungees. Dungees in the South Sound have been a challenge, but there's some big red rocks in there, and certainly there's dungees available in the South Sound as well as Area 10, Mid Sound. So there's just a lot of options. Additionally, while you're waiting for these pots to soak, you've got, like I said, blackmouth fishing. That's providing a decent amount of fish for those who are putting the time in. You've got chum going on in a lot of places, right? Kennedy Creek open. You've got rivers around Puget Sound with chum open. You've got Minter Creek open for chum. Right now is usually the time for Minter Creek. I know the last escapement report didn't have the numbers yet, but hopefully they're there and they're coming in. Certainly they should be staging off the mouth. That's an incredible opportunity if you go up Carr Inlet and fish the anchovy under a bobber there. All right, I gotta talk you through how to have a great trip at Minter Creek. I know it's got the reputation, right? It's the snag fest where all kinds of crazy stuff happens down there fishing for chum in November. But a few tips, few ideas. Number one, probably not the place you take your kids, right? Having trouble casting, a lot of people there. A lot of people who aren't always in the best mood. Don't bring the kids to Minter Creek, especially not on a weekend, etc. I mean, there are some places to get some space. I'll talk you through that, but that's tip number one. Number two, all right, number two, show up on a weekday. If you've got a late start to work or you have some flexibility and time off, etc., like the weekday versus weekend is dramatically different for Minter Creek. If you get a chance to show up on a weekday morning, give that a try, or even middle of the day, which leads to the next tip here, which is time your trip with the tide. These fish come in on incoming tide. You want to show up right before low tide or a little bit around that time period. I like to show up around low tide because I like to kind of stand there and watch the water come up, watch the fish come in. It's pretty cool. As the water comes up, you start to see schools of chum coming into the creek, and it can be really cool. The other thing is I don't go to, I always fish below the bridge. I don't fish right near the hatchery. I like to fish on the tide flat. So if you go down there, there's little trails and stuff down there. Make sure you can get back, right? As the tide water comes up, make sure your retreat's not cut off. You can intercept those fish just as they're coming into the tide water, which is super cool experience. Similar situation with like Kennedy Creek, these little creeks. You gotta be strategic about where you're at in regards to tide and the fish coming in. Use a slip style float. I've showed a ton of footage on how to do this, and I've showed this chum rig with 20-pound fluorocarbon or mono, purple pink style jig, 1/8 ounce, 1/4 ounce. Bring your store-bought raw shrimp with shell on, cut it into tiny fingernail size pieces, tip your jigs with it, and as you see the schools of chum coming through, cast upriver, right? And just reel enough so that your bobber, doesn't matter whether it's moving or not, or you got flow or not, but just make sure the school of chum is on an intercept course with your bobber, and the rest is the rest is gonna work itself out just fine. Those chum, one of those chums is gonna bite that jig and squeeze fish on, and absolute blast with so many fish, such small water. Great way to have a good time at Minute Creek. Give it a whirl if you got the opportunity that lines up with the tide and all that. Give it a shot. You're gonna have a blast. All right, let's take a look at the weather forecast. So, pull up Aberdeen, Washington here, 10-day forecast, and you see that, things kind of get back to a little bit more of the normal late fall temperatures, rain totals. That's gonna help a lot of different recreational activities coming up in the week ahead. Get out of this crazy, dry November thing we got going on here. We'll be finishing late buck this weekend. For Modern Rifle, I decided not to hunt today, and of course, I found this buck on my trail cam, 10 a.m., 30 yards from my blind on public land, where would have put this buck down in a heartbeat. And of course, I decided not to hunt today, and that is biting me. But I have a multi-season tag. You'll have late muzzleloader and archery, several different units getting going. One of the challenging things has been, certainly during this really dry, cold period, is mushroom growth not happening the way you'd like to see it. They need that water. We got the rain coming. That's something you should check out, certainly in the coast, the Cascade Mountains. Of course, there's still birds being shot. A lot of this super cold weather, wind, all that. It's moving birds around. That's going off on the eastern Washington, central Washington. All right, last topic. I got these bumper stickers with the new PNW Best Life logo. I got 10 of them as like a first batch. So I've got a few people who have already asked me for them, but if you drop in the comments that you want one, I'll respond, we'll get in touch. I'll get you one of these stickers, one of these bumper stickers, and we'll get it out there, and I'll order more as well. So we're just starting the merch approach here to PNW Best Life. And if you've got an idea for something that you'd like to see a PNW Best Life, a really cool logo on, drop in the comments, let me know, and we'll get things going, we'll get things started.